Welcome to another episode on our channel. Today I'm going to show you something I customized and really had fun doing it. I think it came out very well. I hope you think so. We're trying to do multiple episodes every time we film, and that's because my work has become inordinately busy. So it's either record a ton of stuff on weekends, or my husband will, or the husband will come in and do a few things to kind of keep things going while I'm working and can't focus on customizing or anything else. I hope you don't miss, though, the next episode. In the next episode, I talk about how to save money on 1/6 scale figures. We're seeing things, and I've said this a number of times, toy companies are rapidly moving, if they haven't reached that point yet, of pricing themselves out of a market. And it's bad when you miss something and it goes out of stock, but it's still bad unless it's an off-brand company that makes a really good figure of what you're looking for. Then you might get a good price on the figure. And every so often, Hot Toys will offer a deal on something that they can't turn over, and you want it. So, but there are other ideas. There are a ton of ideas that will help you get some figures that you truly want. You just have to be happy with a different standard, or you have to time things well, or on and on the list goes. But I'll talk about the tricks of the trade, and hopefully that'll help you. I hope it doesn't help you and interfere with me getting something. That's always a possibility, but if we both can win on this, that would be great. Anyway, we're going to pause right now, and I will get out the custom I've been working on. We are back, and I had to make another bad guy for my Lara Croft Tomb Raider game. The bad guys kind of look the same. They're different, though, if you really pay attention. They're wearing different things and so forth. So I've made at least one so far, and I thought, let me do another one. I had fun making the first one. That was my real first attempt at aggressive weathering. You know, it might have been my first attempt at weathering at all, but I went to town on it, and it came out well. Kind of the same outcome here. Did my best to weather this guy, and I'm really happy with the outcome. Again, I used World War II German, really pants that fit loose and can have some what I call, they're not high waters. They really drape over the boots nicely. I like pants like that. I have a camo belt on him, a pouch here. He has a canteen on the other side. He's got a MP40, World War II German machine gun. I really need Russian assault weapons because with Lara Croft, the particular game I'm playing, she's fighting Russians primarily, Americans too, but Russians, not Germans. So I have rope I made out of twine. I've got a scarf around his neck. I made with the help of my husband, a bow, and it's basically a wooden Q-tip that's been warmed up and bent. And then this is actually, this is the type of string that you use to string bows. This is literally bowstring. So I use that on here, and I put twine around certain parts of the bow to kind of give it a little pizzazz to it. He's got this skull cap on, and I don't know, they just can't seem to make skull caps very nicely. So I've had to chop and reshape it just to get it to look halfway decent. I have several of these still. And yeah, unlike the baseball cap that you saw the other day on Jared Goff and my post-apocalyptic guy, those hats fit perfectly. These skull caps, bad, really bad. So basically I have to turn them inside out, cut a lot of material off, take it, it's like double lined with material. So I have to kind of trim around the inside part of the material to get that excess material out. And then I cut a little off the top, and then I just try to sew it so it has a decent look. It's not perfect, but it's decent. I made the quiver on this. You'll see it when we go around. I made the arrows, and that's why they're kind of pointing out tip first instead of, you know, the feather first, because I have no feathers to make these arrows with, so that's the best I could do there. And he is as distressed as he can possibly be. These pants started out as camo pants, and they were sprayed black, and I just took some sandpaper and went to it. The shirt was brown, tan, actually, and it was painted black by the husband, and went to town on it in terms of using sandpaper as well. So yeah, he's looking like some of these guys I see in the Lara Croft game. So I think he turned out quite well. We'll pause now and get him on a turn trace so you can see him from different angles. So I said earlier that this is World War II German pants. It started out as camis, painted black, sandpaper to give it a weathered look. The shirt was light brown, U.S. World War II, light brown, painted black, sandpaper to give a weathered look to. The boots are just black, World War II, U.S. boots. I could have weathered them, but didn't really feel the need to do that. The cami belt, U.S., but it started out as a very weak, light colored green, and I don't like anything but olive drab green or black. So most of the figures in Lara Croft are really dark figures, so I went with the black on him. So his cami belt has lots of pouches or magazine holders, and he's got this pouch here, and he's got a canteen on the other side. He's got a German World War II machine gun. Like I said earlier, it really should be Russian. And the bow is made with the wooden Q-tip. Hot water or a hair dryer will give it enough heat so you can start to bend it and not break it. I put a little twine in various spots and actually use bowstring to complete the look. These scarves that you can get, you can usually, they're folded into a long triangle. You can cut them in half because they're really too long or too bulky if you try to use the whole piece and fold it around the neck. So cut it in half, fold it up, put it around the neck. All right, so that's what you can see so far. Let me turn him, and you can start to see more. Oh, the skull cap. Again, these are a mess typically. You really have to do some adjustments here to get them to look good. All right. He's looking pretty nicely weathered. I decided to make this time around a quiver. And I used what's called, I have to look at it, heat shrink tubing. Sorry, excuse me. Heat shrink tubing assortment. And the one I used is this size. And what I did is I just surrounded it with canvas and made it so it's wider at the top and at the bottom. Had the husband paint it black and weathered it, and then I put twine around the bottom, kind of an X design in the middle, which I've seen on Lara Croft, and at the top I made the arrows out of the wooden Q-tips, so I kind of indented it near the top and whittled them into sharp points at the top. Obviously, I didn't have tiny feathers that I could glue into place on these things, but and that's why the tips are showing, because obviously the ends of the arrows really don't have the appearance of being arrows. So this is the best I could do here for now. All right. So we'll just keep going. See the canteen on the side. And the twine. I didn't mention the twine this time around his body. I think it just gives it another layer of authenticity to the game. You see these guys running around with rope around them. So he's pretty cool looking, I think. And I'm really having fun with the weathering process. I didn't think I would, but I am. You know, as long as you have something to start with and you can paint it, you can use sandpaper to kind of give it that weathering look. Now, if it was white underneath the black, that might not look so good. But I can imagine that you could take something like light tan, paint it brown, fabric paint brown, and then just go to town with it. It should turn out fine, just like black does. But for this game, this is a good look for this guy. So we'll pause now and get some tighter close-ups from here on out. On Lara Croft, most of the guys that are the bad guys are wearing darker colors, but it's not exclusively darker colors. I've seen them in olive drab green. I've seen them with some shirts that are kind of like red or pink. You know, so there is color at times. But for the most part, they tend to be very dark figures. They tend to have mustaches and beards, look a little scruffy. And the quiver that you saw a bit ago is typically what you see with these guys. So I might make one more bad guy, or Mathias. I'm debating. I do want to make Roth. I would love to make Sam. I would like to make Jonah, Joslin. You know, there's so many figures I would love to make, but I just don't think I could find the heads for like Jonah or Joslin or even Alex. I think I have my eye on a head that might pass for Roth, maybe Mathias, and maybe Sam. Those three I think I could do. Sam for Samantha. So anyway, hope I can do that. So let's go around and see him. You can see more details now. He's looking pretty fierce. There's the bow coming into view, twine around his body, all the weathering that's taken place on this guy, to include the quiver. You know, you can't really go wrong, I guess. I was so afraid that I could literally go very wrong with the weathering process, but yeah, the weathering on the canvas turned out nice. He doesn't have a hoodie on, so that's different from the other guy I had. But yeah, I like the way he turned out. So we'll pause now and get a close-up of his face. Obviously, you can see more details now. I think we'll do a full 360, so you can see the quiver a bit better. That skull cap is looking a lot better than it did, I can tell you that. He's moving out of view because he's got a wide stance. Sorry about that. The arrows, yeah, I made them. It's a little blurry, so sorry about that, but I whittled them into at least the top part looking like an arrow. That's a little better look here. There we go. Yeah, and the head sculpt is just looking very fierce. So there you go. We are back, and here's the first bad guy I made from Lara Croft. I got Lara Croft first. I just like the figure. Never played the game. I've been playing the game now when I can squeeze some time in to do it, and it really is seriously addicting. Until you run into a puzzle you can't solve, and then you spend forever trying to figure it out. So anyway, she looks good. This is the first bad guy, Solarii Brotherhood, Mathias's men, that I decided to make. He's got a hoodie. He's got the skull cap as well. He looks a little more weathered because I think I was more aggressive with him than with him, but you know, it's all good in the end. So he has a hoodie. He does not. He has the machine gun. He has it too, but he has the bow and arrow and the quiver and arrows, plural. He doesn't have bows and arrows or anything like that. But they're similar in many respects, but different slightly in other respects. So I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day.